created this 4-week branding guide for real estate agents. So I want you to utilize this guide along with this video. So if you're a checklist person, you're going to absolutely love the checklist that I created for you. We're going to dive into the Essential 4-Week Branding Guide, which is designed specifically for real estate agents who want to elevate their brand, attract more clients, and stand out in this crowded market. So this isn't for a real estate agent who is brand new, just got licensed. There are so many other things to focus on, and I have videos on this topic. This is more so for the agent who maybe has been in the business for a year or has done several transactions. This video is for you. So I'm going to walk you through each week of the guide, offering actionable tips, insights that will help you define your brand, create consistent visuals, engage with your audience, and expand your reach through networking. So week 1, we want to define and optimize. So in week 1, the focus is on laying a solid foundation by defining your unique value proposition, also known as UVP, and I'm going to mention this several times in this video, to focus on laying a solid foundation by defining your UVP and optimizing your social media profiles. So the steps, let's get in the first one, defining your UVP. So start by defining what sets you apart from other agents. Think about your strengths, your specialties, and what unique experiences you bring to the table. And if you don't know what your UVP is, it's okay. I think for newer real estate agents, this might be harder to think of these items, but truthfully, take a moment for yourself, take some quiet time and sit down with a piece of paper and pen and really hone in on what your strengths are and what your specialties are and what unique experiences you bring to the table, because this is the core of your brand. So we really, really want to spend some time defining it. We want to make sure that it is clear and concise. So couple of tips, you can consider your target market. Tailor your UVP to resonate with specific needs and desires of the buyers and sellers that you're trying to attract. Include your UVP in your elevator pitch. So you're just ready to communicate it clearly in any situation, whether or not it's in person or online. So when you make these notes of your strengths and what sets you apart and all those things, practice saying it, practice sharing it with people. Talk about it in your Instagram story. Make some Instagram posts about it. Test your UVP by sharing it with colleagues, clients. You can share it with me, see if it resonates and if it makes an impact. And for some people, sometimes it just doesn't make sense and they need another pair of ears to hear this out and help them construct what it is that they're really trying to convey. So share it with your colleagues, share it with clients, share it with me, and let's make sure that it resonates and it makes an impact. Okay, the next item is we want to optimize your social media bio. So I see it all the time that real estate agents aren't having their bios reflect their UVP. They're not having call to actions. I think there's just some little tweaks that you could do to help truly optimize your bio. So I'm going to share a couple tips with you here in this video. We want it to reflect your UVP. So as you guys know, this is the first impression you will have online. So we really, really want to make it count. So a couple of things here, a couple tips. Use keywords that your ideal clients might be searching for. And this is a huge example and something that can be tweaked and really helpful for you as far as SEO purposes and for when people are searching for a real estate agent in, let's just use my area, Jacksonville, Florida, for example, is to have not even in the bio, right above the bio, underneath your photo, you probably have your name or maybe your team name. I really, really suggest also adding on there versus having in your bio, right after your name, having -- Jacksonville Realtor. So when people are searching these keywords, you're more likely to pop up. So those buyers, those sellers, and those realtor referrals, when they're searching Jacksonville Realtors, I am more likely to show up. or Jacksonville, Florida realtors more likely to show up. So that might be something that you need to tweak right now. And it literally will just take you a couple seconds and help you out so much. I think it's really beneficial to have a call to action in your bio. So this could look a couple different ways. You could say like, contact me today for a free consultation, buyer consultation, seller consultation, whatever that looks like for you. And you could implement a Calendly link in your bio so people can go to it and they can schedule an appointment with you. I always like to create items of value. So you guys know I absolutely love Coffee and Contracts, and they have every guide imaginable for lead magnets, like buyer guide, seller guide, relocation guide. There's a fall guide, a renting to buy guide. So something that would make sense for you to share, create this, customize this in Canva. So you have this really great free item of value that you can use as a call to action in your bio. Like, an arrow pointing down, grab my relocation guide. And then the link will bring them to, you can use Flowdesk, which I absolutely love. And you can create a landing page very simply in Flowdesk of grabbing their name, their email. Then you can set up an automation so that they can automatically receive this guide into their inbox. And then you also get their name and their email address and are able to follow up with them that way. But if that entire process sounded really confusing with like creating this in Canva, figuring out where to get these guides or how to set up a Flowdesk and set up this automation and how should I follow up with them? Well, that is an entirely different video. Let me know if you need those details though below in the comments, and I will create that for you. Okay, so we talked about creating a call to action in your bio. We talked about, you could do contact me today for a free consult or a guide, right? I think it's really important you could potentially add some of your UVP in your bio, but also think of things like, for example, like helping, like using an emoji, like the home emoji, and writing helping X, helping your ideal client, whatever that looks like for you, like mentioning that right away so that people know who you want to work with, who your ideal client is. And then also, like, we want people to be excited about your profile. We want them to binge your content. We want them to come back. So I feel like what is something that's really popular right now is people sharing that local content, the things to do around town, the new restaurants, the new places to go. If you're a mom and that is part of your branding, maybe things to do with kids. So just keep this in mind. This is just a little side tip, like maybe sharing the best things to do in Jacksonville, Florida. So, that will gear towards those local followers. It'll get them wanting to come back to see where you're going. And I feel like that's just like truly, truly, really valuable. Okay. Those are just a couple tips for the bio. Also, update your profile picture. Your profile picture should be professional and consistent across all platforms. So invest in a high quality headshot that represents your brand's personality. Consider the background and the attire in your photo. Choose a setting and outfit that reflects the market that you serve, whether it's a casual beach attire for a coastal market or formal wear for luxury listings. Make sure your expression is warm and approachable, and people are more likely to engage with a friendly face. Use the same photo across all platforms for brand consistency so that you are easily recognizable. Let's dive into week 2, create consistent visuals. So the overview here is visual consistency is key to building a recognizable brand. Week 2 is all about establishing a cohesive visual identity. So don't overthink this section. Like, don't overthink the logo and the branding colors or your photo style. I'm telling you, just the fact of the visual consistency behind it is going to build that recognizable brand. It's going to build that trust, that credibility that you're hoping to attain. I'm going to give you some tips though and some suggestions when picking these things out, but I just want to tell you, like, overall, do not overanalyze it. Choose your color palette. Select 2 to 3 primary colors for your brand that resonates with your target audience. And if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed of like, how do I figure out a color palette? I'm going to give you some quick tips that doesn't involve you having to invest thousands of dollars with somebody that's going to create the branding colors for you, the logo and stuff like that. Like, I feel like there is a time and place to invest that money into these things. But if you're just starting out and the money isn't there right now, these are some really good free alternatives that honestly can still be very, very valuable. So we want to select, like I said, 2 to 3 primary colors. Honestly, what I did was I went to Pinterest and used Pinterest. You can type in like 2 to 3 primary colors for your brand. Like, type in colors that resonate with you, that you like, or that you would like to incorporate. And I'm telling you, you're going to get all these different options on Pinterest, and they'll even give you the color, what is it, like the hex code that you can use in Canva. And, you can kind of play around. Look on Pinterest for inspo is basically what I'm trying to get at. Get a couple different examples of colors that you're interested in. Plug those into Canva. In Canva, you can have a branding kit. So you can plug in your colors, your branding fonts, and you can play around with this. Like, play around with a couple templates. Make sure that these colors look good together. You can use color psychology to choose hues that invoke the right emotions, which I looked up on Pinterest. It gave a ton of examples for like every color and like what it means. For example, like blues for trust or greens for growth, etc., etc. So incorporate these colors into your marketing materials, from your website to your listing presentations, to create a cohesive and professional looks. I think really choose a neutral or complementary color for backgrounds and text to ensure your primary colors stand out. So, pick your 2 to 3 main colors, but also have some neutrals in there that would be really, really great for, like, for example, like the background of your guides or the background of your social media post. And like I said, test your color palettes with social media posts. Test them across different mediums like print out some guides, print out some branding materials, and also, digital content to ensure the consistency, the readability, that you like it, that it looks good, and it's conveying what you want it to convey. Okay, the next thing, design a logo or signature. Create a logo or a unique signature that will be the face of your brand. And like I said, do not overanalyze this. Coffee and Contracts does have logo templates and email signatures that you can utilize as well for your branding. So if you wanted to go in, play around with those are included with your Coffee and Contracts membership. Or also, let's see, the Hive logo that I created, I just created that in Canva. There's a bunch of examples in Canva too that you could just use for free to customize. Keep it simple and scalable so that it looks great on everything from business cards to your website, or if you want shirts, just keep those things in mind. Maybe play around with a couple different logos, try things out as far as, adding it onto some social media posts, maybe test it out on some print, some guides or a t-shirt of some sort, koozies and whatnot, and make sure that like it looks good and that it's the look that you're going for. Just make sure that your logo aligns with your overall brand message and that it's memorable. But I'm telling you, it will become memorable with you just posting it over and over and over and over. So you can consider hiring a professional designer to, ensure that it's polished and unique. But I think utilizing Canva, Pinterest, Coffee and Contracts can really be a good free alternative. You can also create a few variations with your logo, like with or without a tagline, with the brokerage logo. Make sure it looks good with yours and make sure that it's, what am I looking for? The words. Make sure that is like within compliance with your association and that you're doing everything correctly with that. Last little tip, don't overanalyze this, but establish a photo style. Decide on any type of like filters or photo editing styles to use consistently. So let's say you get branding photos done. I suggest like sticking with the same branding photographer so that you will have the same quote unquote filters or the same photo editing style so that it just will be consistent. And like I said, also choose 2 to 3 fonts for your brand and use them consistently across all content to remain a unified look. So basically what I did for choosing, I chose 3 fonts. One is like a big, bold font that I want to use for short titles. But then I also have a cohesive font that looks really good and complements it, that is for like longer paragraphs, not necessarily as big and bold, like, because I want to write out more text. I want it to be legible. I want it to be able to fit into the certain types of content pieces that I'm creating. And then the third font that I chose was like a script. So like for my signature, or what else? I know I use it like for the guide, on top of the guide, I think where it says like 4 weeks. So having that third font to just be like a script font that you really like. Another tip is you could create a mood board to visualize the style and tone that you want for your brand's imagery. This will help guide your photography and ensure consistency. Like I think I already said this, use the same filters or editing style for all of your photos to create a cohesive look on social media. Really consider the lighting, background, and composition of your photos to maintain a professional and consistent aesthetic. Okay, we only have 2 more weeks left. Week 3, content creation and engagement. So now that your brand is visually cohesive, it's time to focus on content creation and engagement. Week 3 is all about providing value and connecting with your audience. So I feel as though this is where I would mention coffee and contracts, but I have talked about it so much. So I'm just going to tell you, if you are not familiar with coffee and contracts, go to coffeeandcontracts.com. It can literally help you with all of this week, what I'm going to mention to you. And I do have a discount code for you. It's Stevie15. You'll get $15 off your first month, making it $39. And there's no contract. You can cancel anytime. But I promise you so much value here. Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to plan your content. Plan 4 to 5 posts about market updates, home buyer tips, or any other topics that will be valuable to your audience. So if you go into coffee and contracts, like, who is your ideal client? Let's search that in the platform so that you're only customizing that type of content for your audience. You can use a content calendar to stay organized and consistent. Analyze your audience needs and pain points. What questions do they frequently ask? If you don't know, like, you could use ChatGPT here to help you gauge your audience's needs and pain points if you're a newer real estate agent. But create content that answers these questions and positions you as the go-to resource. Another tip, balance evergreen content, which is just timeless content with timely content, like things that are going on with the current market trends, to keep your feed relevant and valuable. And then 2, batch your content creation to save time and ensure you always have fresh material ready to post. Okay, the next item is to create a mix of content. Develop a video, a infographic, and 1 written post to diversify your content. Mixing different content types keeps your audience engaged and appeals to various learning styles. So basically, I'll have like a reel go out, and then a photo, and then like some market updates, and then, something that's going on around town. So just mixing up the different types of content. Leverage video to showcase property tours, client testimonials, or even a day in the life of a real estate agent. Videos are highly engaging, as I'm sure you know, significantly boost your visibility. Infographics are great for breaking down complex information into easy to digest visuals like the home buying process or market stats. So I think if you're into more written posts, like let's say you're doing an email or a blog or really detailed captions, I really like that because it allows you to dive deeper into topics and establish your expertise. But you could also make really good engaging videos instead. Then, huge point right here that I think people really forget about, and that is to engage with your audience. Respond to comments and messages promptly to build relationships with your followers. Not just responding back with liking their comment or responding back with an emoji. This is your in to go with a conversation now, versus don't just send an emoji, continue the conversation with what it is they're commenting back on. Engagement is a 2-way street. The more you interact with the audience, the more loyal they will become. Maybe create some polls, Q&A sessions, or live videos to foster real-time interactions with your followers. This not only boosts engagement, but also makes your audience valued and heard. Share user-generated content like clients' posts about their new home to show appreciation and build community. Monitor your analytics to see which posts can get the most engagement and adjust your content strategy accordingly. So if you have a business or creator account, you can go to insights for each one of your posts, and it provides you so much helpful data. Okay, let's get into the last week, networking and testimonials. So finally, week 4 is about expanding your reach through networking and collecting testimonials to build trust and credibility. We want to connect, we want to showcase local businesses. So reach out to 2 to 3 local businesses or influencers to explore those collaboration opportunities. Couple tips here. Networking can really open doors to new audiences and potential clients who align with your brand. Consider hosting joint events or social media takeovers with local businesses to cross-promote and expand your reach. I've done this many, many times. Feature local businesses in your content, like spotlighting a favorite coffee shop near listing to build goodwill and attract their clientele. Join local business groups or chambers of commerce to expand your network and discover new collaboration opportunities. So I feel like I just gave you so many valuable tips right there. We have 2 more. Collect testimonials. Ask 2 to 3 satisfied clients for reviews and or testimonials. But I mean, you could do more than 2 to 3. That's what I wrote down here, but get as many as you possibly can. Provide a few bullet points or questions to help guide their testimonial, making it easier for them to highlight your strengths. Sometimes people are just I don't want to spend the time on it. But I think if you help them, give them a little bit of guidance, it can be really helpful. And of course, video testimonials are particularly powerful. Ask your clients if they'd be willing to share their experience on camera. And I feel like if you ask them to do this, when they're at home by themselves, they feel more comfortable versus doing it in front of you at the closing table. That's just what I've experienced. Maybe offer an incentive, like a small gift or a little discount of some sort for clients who provide detailed and thoughtful testimonials, or I'll enter you into this giveaway, and then share those testimonials. Post these testimonials on your website and social media to showcase your credibility. All right, that wraps up this video of the 4-week branding. I hope that it was helpful for you and gets, this basis. It gets a starting point for you. It gets you motivated and excited with some direction on how to move forward with branding, and utilize this checklist. Break it down week by week so that it's not overwhelming for you. I hope it's helpful. Let me know below in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next one.